Welcome everyone to 3 Count Commentaries. This is your host MagMongoSlade. Today, a live smart tears. I know you guys like live smart tears. I'm not, it's not my favorite thing in the world. But live smart tears, it is a Christmas miracle. We're going to talk about everybody's running. They're following in behind RIHO, trying to defend her. They're like the Power Rangers. They're forming like Voltron. The RIHO Defense Force. They're going to protect RIHO from all of you racists, sizists, and everything else that are out to get her because you just don't understand that some wrestlers want to have fun. You don't understand how hard it is being a Joshi Puroresu, which is just a pro wrestler, in the United States. You don't understand how hard it is. So, you don't get to talk trash about RIHO. You don't get to do this. And if you do, we're going to call you names. And we're going to come after you. We are part of the RIHO Defense Force. You feel me? So, mount up. Pick a color. I already got navy blue cornered. You got to pick your own color. I don't have an animal, a spirit animal. But we're going to make this thing work. RIHO Defense Force, mount up. Let's get into what started all of this nonsense, which some people spiritually would blame Jim Cornette. But what started all of this chaos on this occasion was actually Justin LaBar. Wrestling, I guess you could say personality now. I don't know if he still does WrestleZone. That's what I know him from. Is he used to do WrestleZone. And then I guess he branched out from that. That was a long time ago. And now he made this comment. What does AEW see in RIHO? Do they think she moves tickets or viewership needle? If you have the choice of her or Saraya to be in a title match, that's not a debate. I don't get any of it. And he is then immediately attacked by people who love RIHO. They are, as I have termed them, the RIHO Defense Force. Some of these people are incredibly... Some of this stuff is really funny. This one says, to satisfy Tony's Japan fetish, I'd rather see Athena challenge Tony. See, Tony... Who says Tony has a Japan fetish? Who said that? Okay, here's another one. The same people that hate on RIHO are the same people that think WWE should bring back AJ Mendez. RIHO is a legit woman's wrestler. AJ is so bad that she makes Maxine Dupree look like Rhea Ripley. There is nothing correct about any of that. For starters, AJ was not that bad. She was not that bad. And I don't want AJ back, so that's already incorrect. And then, there's nothing about this that is correct. RIHO is not a real woman's wrestler. I'm sorry. What are you going through? Let's get here. Here's another one. I'm not AEW. I'm not looking at business. I'm just a fan. I'd far rather see RIHO wrestle than Saraya because RIHO matches are far better than Saraya's matches. Hope that helped. Look, they both suck. Look, I said it in the Dynamite review. Saraya, easily shit tier wrestler. All right, just really shit tier. And I didn't think she was that great when she was Paige. All right, but let's be honest with the good people here. Saraya is not good, and her comeback has really, really not been good. And now people are trying to get folks to believe that RIHO is a television draw, despite the fact that she's tiny. Oh my God, she's super tiny. I don't understand the RIHO hate at all. She's a great wrestler and was the first women's champion. I think it's a chance for 2 great wrestlers to put on an awesome match at what's looking to be a fun show. She's a great wrestler. I love the doilies on the end of her wrists and how they twinkle in the air as she does flying moves in really terrible coordination. I love that. I love when she does that. Uh, RIHO is popular with the fans, so you give her a few wins, but you ultimately put her in to lose to Toni Storm. This is not. It's been 2 years. We need to find someone to beat the champ. It's let's find someone for the next pay-per-view to take a pin. And you do that on TV. Do it on TV. RIHO versus Toni Storm is not a pay-per-view match. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. I don't know what to tell you. And somebody mentioned Chris Statlander, who is basically who Toni Storm should be wrestling, by the way. Or like Thunder Rosa. If he's going to bring back Thunder Rosa, why you didn't bring back Thunder Rosa to wrestle Toni Storm? Considering they have some heat, some from the past, I don't know. I don't get it. But the RIHO Defense Force, man, somebody says Rico is Rico, so her name is Rico. You love her so much, you don't even get her name right. Talking about she's a big draw. You don't even know what her name is, kid. Okay, we about to get it. That was just a little tidbit. Some of the more angry stuff comes later. We're gonna work our way there. Trust me. People are really gonna build this up, and so we're building it up. You don't get it because you don't like RIHO. You don't get it because you didn't see her in Japan. You don't get it because you're blind to see what she brings, and you don't get it because you simply don't know who RIHO actually is. How does that make me want to see her wrestle, though? None of that makes me want to see her wrestle. How does any of that make me want to see her wrestle? Not any of it. None of it. Somebody told him to shut up, Baldy. Oh my goodness. Here we have a racist in his replies. We have a bunch of AEW haters, misogynists, and racists. Oh, you knew the racism thing was coming. Oh, you knew it was coming. What were you thinking? You think that we can have any kind of discourse here without people being called a racist? You think we can have any kind of discourse here without whataboutisms? Here's a whataboutism. I'm not insinuating anything, Justin LaBar, but the fact that you only get this mad and feel the need to say something like this when it's about RIHO, but never said anything about Alexa Bliss, who is even smaller, just proves that you are a racist piece of shit. Justin LaBar he made the ultimate mistake. He tried to defend himself against these morons and got ate alive. Justin LaBar says, I have said Alexa is so small, her lack of size and sound bumping is harmful to her performance. Relax. I just tweeted an opinion that a wrestler in a visual business doesn't interest me visually. So then this guy who, I guess he's some MMA guy, he says, all your opinions, which are in scare quotes, are casually always against the same company for the same things. Maybe just keep watching the stuff you like. It has been 4 years of you not enjoying the product. It's time you admit it's not for you. Never cared to say anything about Mysterio either, by the way. Okay. We're gonna probably spend a lot of time handling the whataboutisms. Alexa Bliss is one, not that great of a wrestler. Let's just be honest. Alexa Bliss, 98% charisma. She's very tiny. That is absolutely true. In a business that is about physicality, Alexa Bliss would be a manager. In the old days, she would have been a manager, a pinup girl, or something like that. She would not be in the ring taking bumps unless it was to pop the crowd. You wouldn't have Alexa Bliss as a pro wrestler in a traditional sense. She'd have been Sunny. In 15 years ago, that would have been a better use for Alexa Bliss, she'd have been Sunny. She'd have come out there, cut down the audience with her acid tongue, then maybe some bigger girl clotheslines her, power slams her, or something like that. She takes the big bump, everybody cheers, and then we build her up again just to take the same thing over and over again. That'd have been her career. But because we live in a world now where all the women have to do everything that the men do, there can't be any, you can't have any female managers, you can't have any, eye candy or anything like that. She has to be a wrestler. Now, as a wrestler, she, again, is not very good, but she doesn't do stuff that doesn't make sense for her style. Again, she's another female Miz, where Alexa Bliss can really get over on the mic. And because she seems to really jump into anything that they give her in terms of character work and stuff like that, she makes it work, even though she's super damn tiny. RIHO, on the other hand, we're supposed to believe she's some kind of wrestling, prodigy or wrestling savant. And she looks like olive oil from Popeye. I mean, literally. I don't see how she can carry her own body weight. I think if you put a sack of nickels in her pocket, everybody thinks she's fucking drowned. She'll stop moving. She probably couldn't be able to move her legs. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. But we're gonna be here we're gonna be here pretty long with this. This is pretty hilarious. This is you know a lot of the AEW. She is not 100 pounds. RIHO is literally like 86 pounds. She's literally the size of like an American 8th grader. Like an 8th grade boy. It's like 50 pounds heavier than RIHO. Like you would have to be like 130 to play football. Could you imagine being an 86-pound boy trying to play football? Like, come on, man. No way. An 86-pound girl wouldn't survive a soccer game in the United States. She got legs like popsicle sticks. How can we believe that she is going to be in a fight of any kind and make it? Let's go. How come we don't see tweets like this about other women of the same size from you? Is it because she's from Japan? Or is it because you only like wrestling when it has women you find attractive? He said she was tiny. He didn't say she was ugly. I'm saying she was very homely looking. I said that. And I'm not backing away from it. She is homely. She's not particularly cute. I mean, she has the typical Japanese bubbly personality. She ain't particularly a good-looking girl. And I ain't looking at her wowed by the things that she can do. So, it's kind of dumb, bruh. Look, I know comparing her to Saraya is probably a mistake because Saraya sucks. But a lot of the stuff that's going on here, uncalled for. Gotta say, it doesn't make much sense. Not to me, anyway. RIHO is a proven ratings draw, a bunch of other horse shit. You can't be serious. If she was a ratings draw, she'd be on TV all the time. Trust me. You wouldn't be able to get away from her if she was really a ratings draw. So then Justin LaBar again tried to defend his opinion, saying that Saraya has a major Hollywood movie made about her life and career. She has a better chance of moving tickets and viewers than RIHO. That was a mistake. Alright, that was dumb. Alright, that was dumb. And it was dumb because, one, that's not anything anybody's trying to hear. Two, the term major motion picture, it probably wasn't a major movie, for Christ's sake. But you should have said Tony, meaning Khan, put RIHO over in Wembley. So apparently he thinks highly of her because he put her over in her home country. You know, so the argument that she had a major motion picture, like, I'm pretty sure people watched that movie still didn't know who that woman was. You know, I've watched plenty of biopics. I had no idea who any of those people are. And I keep saying this, major is clearly a subjective term. That is true. It is true. It was the major motion picture. It wasn't a major Hollywood movie. It did $40 million worldwide against a budget of about $10 million. And it was more on par with independent British films from Channel 4 Studios. Wait a minute, so they made 4 times its budget? That's a huge success. That's a huge success. If it made $41 million and only cost $10 million to make, that's a huge success. And then somebody says that she also has videos of her getting cum blasted on her face on the internet. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it is absolutely true. That did occur. That did occur. there's video of her getting skeet all over her face. It happened. Just people are laughing that she can't move her neck. No, she is not a porn star. Don't do that. She's not a porn star. So then he continued to try to defend himself. So people are saying, okay, what about Nakamura? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Why is Shinsuke Nakamura being brought up into this? So Justin Lamar is like, Nakamura, like, he could kick some ass in a fight. I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe in the past. I don't know about Nakamura now in that bodysuit. Seeing RIHO matches, it looks like a child being beaten up. And that's honestly true. If you didn't think that RIHO was a pro wrestler and you just saw her, and this is the thing that really kind of throws me for a loop. If you saw RIHO in a gas station, you would think somebody's 12-year-old girl, somebody's 12-year-old daughter is walking around in a gas station, right? If you saw her in Walmart, you think somebody lost their child in Walmart. You would not immediately think, oh, that is a pro wrestler I'm looking at here. You wouldn't think that. And that's what really pisses me off about the RIHO Defense Force, is that all these people are trying to pretend that it's perfectly normal for you to see somebody the size of RIHO in this business and act like it's perfectly normal. It's okay. Instead of people talking about how abnormal it is, which it is abnormal. It is abnormal. Let's get back to these people. What's funny about this is that there are plenty of other smaller women and men wrestling in various promotions who don't receive nearly as much criticism. It's almost as if RIHO is being singled out because she's Japanese. What a lazy, dumb, racist take. Why you gotta be racist? Why does it matter that she is Japanese? She's tiny. There's tons of other women who are on par physically with Toni Storm and who can work the matches. Why did you have to have RIHO? Why does it matter if RIHO is Japanese? You trying to tell me you can't find another Japanese woman of size that can actually do the job? Come on, man. Can you give respect to the busted open nation by getting this guy to stop watching Cup Net? I'm guessing he's. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Do you have the same thought about Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega, or AJ Lee, despite all of them being roughly the same size as RIHO? Or are you just a porn-brained and racist towards small Japanese women? Zelina Vega. See, Alexa Bliss, just add bits of Spanish. Just add a little bit of Spanish rice to what I just said about Alexa Bliss, and you got the exact same thing. I love Zelina Vega. She's fucking tiny, all right? She is tiny. she's sexy in the motherfucker. I mean, she is. Now, if you saw Zelina Vega in a Walmart, you still wouldn't think she was a pro wrestler, but you wouldn't think she was somebody's child. You wouldn't think she was somebody's baby. You know? She at least looks like a petite woman. RIHO looks like a child. And partially, it is because she's Japanese. And I guess I got to back up a little bit. Because there is some infantilization with females in Japan. There's a little bit of that. Where they try to look younger for longer. Where in the West, young girls try to look more mature. And then when they get older, they trying to look younger. In Japan, they try to hold on to their youth a lot longer. And so many of them end up being 30 years old and they're still like, really high socks and, skirts in there, schoolgirl skirts and all this kind of stuff. And it's weird. It's a cultural thing, though. It's just a cultural difference that, there's a little bit of a, I don't want to say immaturity because that's not necessarily the right term, but culturally, I just think that the Japanese women tend to try to hold on to their youth a lot longer. Justin LeBar, my apologies. You don't find RIHO fuckable enough. He didn't say any of that. He didn't say any of that. He didn't say that he wanted to fuck anybody. He didn't mention fucking anybody. He just said the girl was too small. And here's everybody, they all over him. Using a cornet talk point, so you're a racist. Oh, brother. As if you don't have eyes of your own. You can't see that this girl is small all on your own. You can't see that on your own. It had to be because Jim Cornette told you she was small, and not because you can look at her and tell that she's small. You wouldn't have noticed unless somebody told you. That makes no sense. RIHO is literally the same height as most Joshi wrestlers. I don't get where this that she looks like a child narrative comes from. What? Yes, are you? Well, for starters, again, that's a cultural issue. Japanese women tend to be very petite. They seem to be they're smaller than the average American woman. The average Japanese man is smaller than the average American man. And if you want to use racial terms, they're smaller than the average white person, and the average black person, and the average Hispanic, if I remember correctly. It's got a lot to do probably with environment and diet and stuff like that. They seem to be smaller, leaner, those kinds of things. But a lot of them look like children. For starters, a lot of the girls, again, when they get picked up in wrestling in Japan, they start very young. Like, they started picking up some of these girls, and they're like 12, 13, just getting into the business. So they've been in the business a decade, and are like, 24, So quite a few of them really are underage, basically kids. And saying like, oh, she's the average height of all the other Japanese women. It's like, yeah, but she's not in Japan. She's in the good old US of A. That's the problem here. People are saying she's 26 for fuck's sake. Does she need to be 55 to be considered a woman? No, but she could be, she could put on some weight, for Christ's sake. I mean, goddamn. Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega, Kairi Sane are all about the same height and weight as RIHO. Would you be saying the same thing about them? Yes, and you could add Liv Morgan to the list too, because she's tiny as fuck too. They're all small as hell. When you put Rhea Ripley in the ring with Liv Morgan is tiny. Zelina Vega is tiny. Alexa Bliss is tiny. It's not believable. People are looking at that and saying to themselves, and it's not. And they're gonna use Rey Mysterio a lot as a way to try to. What about Rey? It's like, what about Rey? Rey was jacked. Is RIHO jacked? No. Is Alexa Bliss jacked? No. Ivy Nile is small and she's jacked. So if Ivy Nile was being pushed, she's short, but she's jacked. Layla Hirsch, she's short, but she's jacked. And she's, she can move you. I think that Layla Hirsch should probably take me down. Like she probably could grab my leg. She probably wouldn't be able to lift me up, but like take me off my feet, absolutely. If she was to shoot on one of my legs and I'm not paying attention or something like that, I could easily go down. RIHO, oh my God, I probably wouldn't even feel it. Like what is going on here? But yes, to answer the question, yes, I say the same thing about Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega and Kairi Sane, and they're all just super duper goddamn tiny. All right. Katana Chance. Oh yeah, she's very, very small. Oh my goodness. She's 95 pounds. She's 95 pounds. So they're saying now that Katana Chance, who was Casey Catanzaro, that she's smaller than RIHO. She's 5 foot 95 pounds, while RIHO is 5 foot 99 pounds, or 45 kilograms. Well, 4 pounds difference is not that big of a deal. 1 pound in height is not that big of a deal. They're the same size. Okay. They can wear each other's clothes. So it's not like it's different, right? They're both wearing children's size clothes. They're both shopping at Baby Gap. All right. They're both very small. All right. I mean, they buying shoes for action figures. They wearing Barbie shoes. Like this. They're tiny. They're very tiny people. And nobody's saying that Katana Chance should win the world title or be a world championship contender. She literally just won something, and she only got it so she could drop it to somebody else. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. This is ridiculous, bro. This is nonsensical. Whoa! Did Vince or Cornette tweet this? By the logic, Rey Mysterio shouldn't have been anywhere near the main event scene. RIHO has really good matches and is super over with the crowd. Super over? Saraya kind of just went through the motions last night and didn't gel well with RIHO. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. She has really good matches. Does she really? Where's these? I guess they're in Japan, because I haven't seen any of them. I've seen plenty of RIHO matches on this American television. I wouldn't note any of them as being good or really good. Yeah. One thing's for sure. Darren Gordon-Hill is absolutely correct. She has not done anything to warrant this much attention. But that's the point. The point here is everybody feels like they need to pretend that she needs to be protected. Because, again, there is a situation in which there is no good criticism of AEW or the talent or the booking or anything of the sort. When you have a situation like this, and Rey Mysterio used to get this a lot, about him being too small to be believable, and of course we went through that with like Bryan Danielson, and even Shawn Michaels went through it. He's not even really like a tiny guy, and we're still having this conversation about Johnny Gargano. We had this conversation about guys, we have this conversation about men all the time. I hate the Johnny Garganos of the wrestling business. They suck. Right? They're very tiny guys. Very, very small. They're not jacked. Ciampa, okay, small and jacked. All right, cool. At least he's jacked. Finn Balor, at least he's jacked. Gargano, come on. Like, give me a break. And then the style, too, is shitty. But RIHO, man, you're going too far. This is like Fusellini Jerry. I don't know if you guys... Did anybody watch Seinfeld? And you seen Fusellini Jerry? That's like RIHO, okay? She is super tiny. But you can't buy her as a legitimate threat. It's literally dumb to think so. But it is what it is, man. uh, racist piece of shit narrative, but hey, this guy doubled back to call him a racist, for Christ's sake. Mm-hmm. If you have any integrity at all as a plugged SI employee, SI, is it Sports Illustrated? I don't see Sports Illustrated on his list. What's the physical difference between RIHO and Alexa Bliss, RIHO and AJ Lee, RIHO and Roxanne Perez, RIHO and Katana Chance, RIHO and Kaden Carter, RIHO and Zelina Vega? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. That's a lot of questions, dog. I mean, we can go through it. It's still kind of, it's not sensible though. They may be tiny women, but they look like women. You know, they look like adults. They look like adult people. For starters, just about everybody on the other side of this conversation has personality, you know, with the exception of maybe Katana Chance. I haven't seen her really do anything personality-wise. And Roxanne Perez, she's very dry. Okay? But it's so different because at least these people look like adult females. They're just petite women. RIHO it's not just that she's small. That's the biggest defining feature, is that she's small. But she's also small and very, very, very infantile. I'm talking no real personality. She's not really leaping off the page. Nothing about her grabs your attention. There's no real difference between her and what was that other one they had on this show? What was the other one that they had? The magical girl, the one who wore the genie pants. Like, what's the difference between the two of them, really? You know, there was no real substantial difference between the two of them. But you're not going to get Zelina Vega and, you know, Alexa Bliss mixed up. You're not going to get Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss mixed up, and they even look the same. They even have a similar look. You know, but when you look at RIHO, it's like, man, how could you look at her and not tell that she's a child, bro? It's ridiculous, man. And it says a lot about like injury protocols and stuff like this, because that's what happened with like Alexa Bliss. Like, she was tiny, taking huge bumps. She kept getting concussions, and then she was spending like almost a year doing nothing but staying around playing dress up, because she kept getting her head knocked on the goddamn mat because she's too damn tiny. You know, like, I don't get it. You gotta, the dude called him a racist prick. That's nuts. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So, the Super Luchas guy. This guy is a real woke asshole. It's very disgusting the way some people repeat Jim Cornette's bullshit about RIHO constantly. Do you say the same shit about Alexa Bliss? That's basically RIHO's size? No, you don't. No, you don't. So people are now going through Justin LaBar's account, Googling, well, I guess you can look up to see what he says about other people. And, you know, they're trying to catch him putting over like a small woman, like a Zelina Vega or Alexa Bliss, but there's nothing major, you know. I don't see how you can. Okay, so somebody posted pictures, which is great, but no, you can't see pictures, so that sucks. But it says one looks like a teenage child, the others look like trained athletes. The AEW Joshi wrestling fans need to quit. And there's a picture of Alexa Bliss on Muscle and Fitness, a picture of Zelina Vega at Backlash, and then RIHO. And again, RIHO with the pigtails. The pigtails, I forgot about the pigtails, for Christ's sake. But she also has no body. I mean, it is not a sexualization thing to say that she looks underdeveloped. I mean, like, no hips, no breasts. I mean, she's clearly feminine, but there's lacking in feminine markers, and we're not seeing that many of them. Now I know that Alexa Bliss, she's got fake boobs, and so does Zelina Vega. They got fake boobs. So, maybe if they didn't have fake boobs, maybe they would all look physically the same. But I don't think so. And even still, they have personality. And that can make them useful on a wrestling show, even if it was just as managers. Rather than this horse shit, which is we're going to try to book them to be world champions, whatever. Here's a anti-RIHO Defense Force guy. Imagine being such an entitled prick that you went to scour his profile looking up comments. Fucking creepy. Just accept no one but AEW's entitled fuck fans and Kenny like the Japanese schoolgirl fetish. Oh my good God. Why does it have to be the schoolgirl fetish? I mean, she's got pigtails, bro. I don't know about that. Remember when Alexa Bliss went and got pigtails? Do you remember that? And people say that WWE was trying to push pedophilia because Alexa Bliss went and got pigtails, and it was called Alexa's Playground. Do you guys remember that? Let's look that up real quick while we're talking about this subject of, yeah, because I remember that. I remember that conversation. Let's see. Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss Playground. Let's see. Pedo. Put in pedo. Let's see. I can't find it. Where is it? I remember everybody was talking about that. Whoa. I fell into something completely different. She called a fan a pedophile? I don't know about that one. I don't think that's what I was talking about. Let's go with pigtails instead. Because I'm pretty sure the pigtails really jumped out and people was talking about that, and that was the problem. And everybody thought that she was being infantilized on purpose to be sexualized or something with the pigtails and everything. And wait a minute. What is this? What is this? Did I find what I'm looking for? I usually don't find things that quickly. So let's see. No, didn't look like it. This is a guy who hates the Alexa Bliss character. She's too good for this role of the one of being hanging out with Bray Wyatt and all this kind of stuff. But it seems like she wasn't too good for it because she ended up nailing it. I don't know, man. Fans always have a weird. I can't keep looking at stuff up. Let's move on. But yeah, there was a lot of conversation about Alexa Bliss when she went and got the pigtails and started wearing skirts, and she was on the swings and everything, and everybody was kind of like, "Oh, this is pedophilic. They're trying to sexualize her. Like she's supposed to be like." I think she said she based the character off the girl from the Big Comfy Couch. Like that was the idea behind it. But that girl was hot. Man, she was smoking hot. I remember being a kid, she was smoking hot. Sheesh. What was that chick's name from the Big Comfy Couch? She was hot, bro. People acting like RIHO doesn't look like a 15-year-old girl is hilarious. Have you seen her swing those lead pipes that she was bringing to the ring? Did you see her try to swing it and not break her goddamn thumbs? You see how she put that pipe and she had it on her shoulder or something like that, and it took her whole arm with it. It was hilarious, bro. Like this is not good, man. It's okay to say that RIHO is tiny. It's all right to say that. It's very okay to say that she's tiny and maybe that's not believable, and people are going to have a problem with that. It's okay. Some of the replies about RIHO have been absolutely disgusting. Jesus fucking Christ. Some of you need to seek help. Bro, get over it. Why are you taking this thing so seriously? It is wrestling, cuh. It's wrestling, cuh. Oh my goodness. People on here are really weird about RIHO, pretending like she's not over every time she appears or thinking she's not good or something. The real reason is why AEW uses her for a month, then she disappears for another 6 months before returning. No, she just sucks, bro. And people are not that interested in her outside of. Wait a minute, what now? Hold on now. Wait a minute. What's this? The girl from the big comfy couch was pregnant for the whole second season. Oh, oh, oh. She covered it well. I can tell you that much. She was looking scrumptious throughout that whole thing. That whole thing. Oh my Jane. Ooh, she was cute, man. She's just like, a little cosplay girlfriend. It was nice. She wasn't a bad looking chick, and she was very flexible. If she's a lover, you better stop it. You better leave Lunty Pam alone. Anyway, Justin LaBar finally exposing himself as a fucking idiot. I knew he was the whole time. Is incredible. These RIHO tweets read like shit, and he stinks. Stop putting these Wrestling Inc. affiliated clowns on my timeline. They all suck. AEW fans, man, they just must defend. It's like you don't have to, bro. It's like it's okay for people to say that RIHO is not good, and for people to not like her. It's okay, you know. It's obvious that 90% of the time people hate RIHO. There's a racist reason behind it. People aren't even hiding it. It's amazing that everything about RIHO is just boiled down to her race. She's Japanese, and that's pretty much it. And if she was any other race, they would say, well, you hate women. Like she's just a small Japanese woman with no personality. You can bring a small Japanese woman with plenty of personality over here. Io Shirai, for instance, she's small in Japanese, but she has, personality. I mean, whatever. It's easy to name call. People keep saying that she's an amazing wrestler. I have yet to see evidence of saying. I just see people saying that she's an amazing wrestler. I'm not seeing amazing wrestling. And a lot of people are looking at this thing like it's a one big old meme. Like, it's a joke. Oh my goodness. Somebody got a Kenny Omega video of him explaining how hard it is for the Joshis. We definitely about to go through this. Just a reminder of what Joshi wrestlers like RIHO go through in America. Please educate yourselves and don't further make this harder than it already is for them.
Living in Japan for almost 11 years.
Oh, okay.
On the social media, of course, you're going to see it everywhere. At least to a small degree, to some sort of degree. You're going to find trolls. You're going to find people who.
Oh, what did I do? What did I do?
But you'll never see it to a degree like you will in wrestling.
Can you hear this?
America. And so a lot of these Joshi are coming here. They're trying to learn a new language. They're trying to live in a world that is very, very foreign to them. And it's very difficult for them to acclimate to adjust to. They're trying this American.
That's called immigration, bro. Everybody who goes from one place to another has a hard time fitting in and speaking the language and learning the culture. That's literally something that applies to everybody who comes over to any country. It applies if you take your dumb ass to Japan.
TV style where they're getting a lot less time than what they're used to, and they have to hear these cues being screamed at them from referees and from people in the position, and they're still killing it. They're the most, I would say, from year one onwards, they were so reliable. Never had a bad performance. And I really believe showed just a level of professionalism and a level of just dedication to their craft from a technical standpoint. And to hear them ask me, like, why does everyone hate me? Why do people Say
Oh
these things
no.
about me. Why do they want me to die? Why do they want me to get?
Oh no! Why do they want me to die? Who came up to you and said, "Why do they want me to die"? Now I'm starting to feel bad. I feel bad, guys. I feel bad. This is not what we wanted. We don't want the small Japanese women to want to, I don't want them to die. I just want them to gain some weight and get a personality. What's going on here? Why does it have to be this way? I don't want them to die, Kenny. And it sounds like Kenny is lying too, by the way. I mean, come on. Kenny, they want me die? They want me die, Kenny? No. No. No, Rio. Yuka Sakazaki, it's not that they want you to die, it's just that they're ignorant. You were going to overwhelm their ignorance with your magnificence. Shut up.
Like, why are they calling me a schoolgirl? And I don't. I can say like, hey, just people can be terrible sometimes. It sucks that you have to listen to that, but that's not everybody. RIHO, for example, tough time when a lot of people thought it was great to, no matter what she posted at any point in time, to go on to her social media and to say something super derogatory, because to them, or because what someone had taught them, that's not what a female wrestler should look like. And sure, not every female, it goes without saying, not every wrestler is the same. Not every wrestler is built the same. Not every wrestler has the ability to be built the same. And, not everyone's going to look like Big Bertha Faye. You know what I mean? In the female wrestling world. Can we have people like that? Absolutely. And I want people like that.
Crazy, because when WWE brought in chicks that were basically models and stuff, everybody attacked them. You couldn't have big fake boobs and, lip fillers and everything and be on the WWF roster. Everybody hated that. They didn't want that. You could have it in TNA, though. Like, they really built their entire division off the same kind of bitches that WWE was getting destroyed for. Oh, they were just bringing in models. It's like, what? Did you not see the beautiful people? Did you not see the lip fillers? The fake boobs? The sexualized characters? But it's only bad because Vince did it? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But you got to defend RIHO, dog. The RIHO Defense Force is out in full. It's out in full, man. It's very, very difficult. Just leave RIHO alone, man. She just wants to wrestle. But I don't want to watch it. So what are we going to do here? We at a crossroads. You want me to watch this stuff. I don't want to watch it. So what are we going to do here? Wait a minute. What's happening here? Oh, I thought this was RIHO's Twitter account. I was about to say, oh, is she, responding? But she wasn't. It was just somebody else. RIHO is 5'1" and is constantly attacked and criticized for not looking believable, looking like a child, and much worse. Here are the heights of other women's wrestlers. Katana Chance, 5 feet. Roxanne Perez, 5'1". Zelina Vega, 5'1". Io Sky, 5'1". Alexa Bliss, 5'1". Emi Sakura, 5'2". Meiko Satomura, 5'2". Ivy Nile, 5'2". Kaiden Carter, 5'2". Candice LeRae, 5'2". Asuka, 5'3". Liv Morgan, 5'3". You never read anywhere near the shit about any of these women that you will about RIHO. No one will ever question their believability, their in-ring talent, their being on TV, or being champions. I'll also include here the example of Rey Mysterio, who is 5'6" and has won almost every major title a wrestler can win, and beat some of the biggest and tallest names you can think of. So why the fuck is RIHO being singled out? It's because she sucks. Okay, it's because she's boring, brother. Because some of the girls you mentioned are Japanese on this list. I hate Amy Sakura. I'm sorry. If you had to give me a choice between RIHO and Amy Sakura, I would probably choose RIHO. Amy Sakura is literally a yam with a heartbeat. She's awful, bro. She's shit. But, yeah. I mean, if you wanted to blame Jim Cornette, which a lot of them do, we're trying to get down to that. Jim Cornette has said horrible things about most of the women on this list. With the exception of Zelina Vega. I don't think he says anything bad about her. But I think he's called Io Sky a Japanese schoolgirl, too. He's often said that Liv Morgan is one, too pretty and two, too small to be a wrestler. Remember that whole kerfuffle when he said that she was too pretty to be a wrestler. He probably just had not gotten around to Katana Chance yet. You probably haven't seen enough of them. But the same could be said about all of these people. These people are tiny, tiny people. I absolutely hate the racist and sexist comments by the irrelevant podcaster. Title fits several of them. And the WWE only fans of AEW women. She's too small. Omega's a pedo. Sky Blue's ass. She's getting passed around. I don't know about all that. I don't want to think about RIHO having sex. I don't want to think about RIHO having sex. That's odd. Why would I care about? I don't care about that. I don't want to think about that. That's gross, my guy. Ugh. Yeah, I don't want no part of that. She's 5'1" and 27 pounds. WWE fan base are xenophobics, and that's a fact. When you see something like she's small, she looks weightless, she's not believable, she's always smiling, it's her style. These are excuses. You know damn well why she's singled out, and it's because she's a Japanese working for AEW. She's a Japanese, not a Japanese woman, not a Japanese wrestler, just a Japanese. Come on, bro. Again, he showed you that Io Sky, who is the world champion of SmackDown, is the same height as RIHO, and nobody complains about her. So clearly there's a difference between the two. What do you think that difference is? They're both Japanese. They're both small women. But RIHO is absolutely paper fucking thin. And none of her stuff looks good or believable. If she doesn't even make other people look good or believable. Like, there's nothing about this that's going to make you separate RIHO from everybody else. Guys who talk shit about RIHO have tiny dicks. Well, thank you for having your opinion on my dick. And this is, a male, which of course it would be a male, right? You have a tiny dick. You can't dick shame me because you ain't never seen it, bruh. So and plus it's all about the hips anyway, cuz you don't know nothing. What you trying to tell me? What you trying to tell me? Yeah, he want to call her a Jap so bad you don't know what to do with himself. He wants to call her a Japanese. She's a Japanese guy. You assholes. She is attacked by internet incels who swear they are wrestling fans, but they hate everything about wrestling. Nah. I don't hate everything about wrestling. I just hate small, undersized Japanese women's wrestlers who don't do anything good. Here's the weird thing. At the very least, when you compare RIHO to somebody like Io Shirai. Io Shirai actually looks like her office and stuff look crisp. She bumps well. She does a lot of springboard stuff and it looks pretty good. I've seen her before. Like, I watched her in Lucha Underground. I've seen her in other places. I'm familiar with her. We have an extensive amount of Io Sky / Io Shirai in order to see that they can work a convincing match against a bigger opponent. And WWE actually helps people work convincing matches due to size and stuff like that. While AEW is indie wrestling, where you have to pretend that everybody's the same size, which means RIHO can body slam Big Show because he has to help her. She can do Canadian destroyers to him and all this kind of stuff, where that kind of stuff, not so much in WWE. So you'll typically see a lot of smaller women utilizing speed in their offense or technique or something like that. And their stuff has to look crisp. It has to look good. Otherwise, it'll look like shit. It'll look like RIHO stuff. You know, you really don't have much of a choice, my guy. Oh, oh, brother. Her size. You're not allowed to talk about her size. The hilarious thing about the cornet virgins hating on Joshi is that they took 15 minutes to watch it. They would realize that those ladies roll hard as fuck. Yeah, but I'm not going to spend 15 minutes of my life trying to figure out that they roll hard. I don't care. You know? I mean, you make a... It's been 4 years and she hasn't shown you anything special. So I don't get it. I'm not understanding it. Doesn't matter how good RIHO is in the ring. The perception of her has already been planted in people's heads because of cornets. Wrestling-wise, she's better than anyone on that list except Io. Man, go run your head against the wall. I shouldn't say stuff like that. Jesus Christ. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? I can't do that. These people are nuts. These people are nuts. She sucks. And she sucks bad. And look, it's okay for people to just say that she sucks or that she's too small and I don't buy it. What's the problem here? I don't know. Additionally, it's knit. Oh, it's knit. Like she's doing body slams and press slams. Her moveset matches her physical traits. Quick, flying, and strikes. Did you see, for starters, strikes? Look at her arms. Look at her arms. Strikes. Look at her legs. You would have to be a straw weight to be hurt by a kick by those legs. Unless, if she kicked me in the thigh, let's say RIHO kicked me in the leg. If she kicked me in the leg hard as she could, it'd be like if I got hit by a switch. I think that's probably how I would feel. It'd hurt like hell. It probably wouldn't go down. I'd probably walk right through it and then throw her ass into traffic. But if you get somebody with some thick legs, like Asuka, if she was to kick me, she'd probably tear my fucking ACL. She probably legitimately could, because for starters, she has technique. She can kick. And she has thick legs. And she, probably like it literally will hurt you. But RIHO, come on, man. Like, it's just... Oh my God, bro. I mean, if people could just be honest with themselves for a minute. Be honest with yourself for a minute. If you saw RIHO in public and didn't know she was a wrestler, what would you think she was? I think she was like a high school student. Like legit. I think she was 15 or 16. I would not think she was a wrestler or an adult. If I saw most of these other women, I still wouldn't think they were wrestlers. All of them are small. But I wouldn't think most of them were teenagers. I would just think they were small women. Because I recognize that women are small. You know why? It's the same reason Io got Chinese chanted at her and Saray got a schoolgirl gimmick, and the vast majority of Joshi talent get lumped together. RIHO is so talented and has dealt with so much online shit from the American fan base. Guess what? So has everybody else. Come on, bro. Are you serious? It's supposedly this ridiculous conception that everybody is. Yeah, poor RIHO. She's being piled on, and it doesn't happen to anybody else. RIHO certainly isn't the best in the division, but if people are still using the size argument when trying to criticize wrestling in 2023, then they need to find a new hobby. This isn't 1998 anymore. Yeah, but it ain't. It probably should be. Now that I think about it. Nope. It shouldn't be. It sucks. 1998 sucks. But if they were going to use her in 1998, it would have been in a much different capacity. And it probably would have been done in a way that would have made her endearing to the audience. And I don't mean in some kind of Kaientai kind of way. But like what I was saying before, like she probably would have come in, jumped off the top rope, did a suplex, or not a suplex, but like a splash or an axe handle, or did a hurricane rana and popped in and popped out. She wouldn't have worked a full match because it wouldn't have made any goddamn sense. They'd have looked at her and said, my goodness, look at your arms, look at your legs, look at your face and your neck. Somebody's going to fucking kill you. It might be sweet if you do, jump off the top rope with a splash every once in a while, just to remind people that you can do that stuff, and it will be fine. But this shit, come on, man. I'm sorry. The Rio Defense Force is not looking very good. And part of it is just because they can't be real with themselves. They're lying to themselves, which is usually what the case is going on here, is that they're liars. All right, so we got 1 hour of people defending RIHO. I guess I had not planned to stay all night, so I'm probably gonna spend the next couple of minutes, instead of talking about RIHO, talking about the people who now can go out and get jobs. So now apparently the what is going on here? Oh, okay. The 90-day non-competes are up for a lot of people who were released back in February. It feels like these people fell off the face of the earth. For Christ's sake, I didn't forget some of them was gone for so long now. So the people who are now free to search their universe and journey for new jobs: Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Rick Boogs, Emma, Aaliyah, Elias, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Quincy Elliott, Bryson Montana, Dana Brooke, Mason Mansour, Dabakito Shanky, Yulisa Leon, Daniel McCarter, Kevin Ventura Cortez, Alexis Gray, Brooklyn Barlow, Ike Manjero, Melanie Bunch of Letters. I guess it's Brzezinski. Melanie Brzezinski. Okay. So, wait a minute, what did I say? Yeah. They got released in September. So it's 90 days. So the 90 days is up. So Mustafa Ali has already been booked for like half a dozen shows. Good on him. He's one of the people that everybody likes on the internet, except me. I don't care a fuck about that guy. But he's been booked in Progress. He's been booked in GCW. Matt Riddle's already been booked too. He's going to MLW. So it's you get a nice settlement from WWE, you immediately go and give that money to Matt Riddle. So TNA has been they've been teasing a couple of big signings lately. I don't know who. I'm thinking maybe Shelton Benjamin, maybe Mustafa Ali in TNA. I think Mustafa Ali as a full-time TNA guy would be great. He's booked to wrestle Trey Miguel somewhere else though, which is crazy independent contractor stuff. But I think he would be great in TNA. Mustafa Ali, he would fit in like a goddamn glove. I'm pretty sure Dolph Ziggler is going to end up in AEW. And they were doing this thing over the last couple of hours, like, where should these guys go? And it's like, most of these people are not going to be signed by any major wrestling company or go to AEW or anything. They could be working the indies. Like Dana Brooke, I don't see anybody spending too much money bringing Dana Brooke out. Like who? Maybe TNA will go with Dana Brooke, and maybe she would fit. She would fit there. But Riddick Moss, he would be great. Like I think 90% of these people should probably be in TNA, if we're being honest. Why go to AEW and you don't need to? If you're trying to restore the feelings of TNA, you need to get Mustafa Ali. You need to bring back Emma. She was good there. Bring Riddick Moss there too, because he needs an opportunity. Yulisa Leon will be really good in TNA as well. I don't know who Melanie Brzezinski is. I keep looking at that name like, who is that? Aaliyah will probably be good in TNA too, and plus TNA is based in Canada and she's Canadian, so I think that would work out. Quincy Elliott, you might as well just find a new line of work. A lot of these NXT talents, Shanky, just find a new job. Just get out of the business. Just get out the business. People are saying that Top Dollar might end up coming to AEW so that he can work with Swerve. Oh my God. Do you know how much hilarity we could have if Flop Dollar goes over to AEW and derails Swerve's momentum? Oh, I don't dislike Top Dollar though. I think he sucks, but I don't dislike him. He might just be a stand-up guy. He might just talk too much for everybody. I think of everybody on this list, Riddick Moss is the diamond in the rough. He's the one guy that I look at and say, they didn't get enough out of him. Now, Shelton Benjamin, if he wasn't so old, I would say the same thing. Like, if this was Shelton Benjamin in 2006, 2007, I would probably say, man, there's so much left in the tank for Shelton. But he's 48 or something like that now. I mean, there's not much you could do. I'm still surprised they didn't try to make him a trainer, which to me would have been a slam dunk decision. If you'd have just rehired Shelton Benjamin as a trainer in NXT. Maybe a trainer coach where he comes in and he works with the talent, but maybe he works a match here and there, similar to what Drew Gulak is doing. Drew Gulak is doing something similar down there. And why not have Shelton Benjamin do the same thing? Benjamin and Gulak as a tag team, probably. That probably would work out, right? I like Shelton Benjamin. I love Shelton Benjamin. I don't want Shelton Benjamin to be stuck in MLW or no fucking place like that. That sucks. But I'm looking at this list and of the people that I actually like, I'm only concerned about Riddick Moss. Emma's gonna be fine. She's gonna end up going back to TNA. Dana Brooke is gonna be fine, probably TNA. Mason Mansour, I can see them going to TNA too. Most everybody else is probably just gonna have to work the indies, but Dolph Ziggler probably got tons of money waiting for him somewhere. And so is Mustafa Ali. Rick Boogs is an interesting case because I don't think we ever saw what he could really do. He was another one where I felt like we never got to see what Rick Boogs can really do. And it's an opportunity out there. There's an opportunity out there. People go WWE from get NIL release. I don't understand. I don't understand that. Yeah, man, Moss has some kind of, there's something there, and if he was to go to TNA and they were to give him the opportunity, I think he could be really good. I think he could be really good there. They need a top guy in TNA. They need top stars. And they just can't keep hanging around. It just can't be Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin till the end of time, dog. Like, you gotta get somebody with some fucking charisma in there at some point. Can't just be Josh Alexander and Eddie Edwards. Like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, literally, you need a complete roster refresh. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what their budget is, but they were talking about signing CM Punk and trying to sign Will Ospreay, and they're spending money to get Okada, and they still can't put 1,000 people in that building. It's probably like 600 people in that building for their Snake Eyes show in Las Vegas. It's an embarrassment. For a wrestling company that's been around for 20 years, you can't draw 800 people. It's an embarrassment. I'm sorry. They're probably getting outdrawn by MLW right now. And I'm pretty sure due to the politics, they wouldn't pick up Matt Riddle. Now, I'm not sure if this Matt Riddle is exclusive to MLW, but it seems like that is going to be the case. It seems like he might end up being exclusive to MLW, which is great because I don't have to watch it. I love Jacob Fatu, but I can't watch MLW anymore. It's Oh yeah, TNA did sign Kushida. They also signed Danny Luna, the chick that hangs out with Subculture. She's not awful. She's not bad. It's just unfortunate that she's in this position. She was hanging around with those guys, and they all got released at the same time from NXT UK. So that was all unfortunate. But it is what it is. Can't complain. So everybody is free to do their thing, and I'm hoping, that most of them land in TNA because TNA need new talent like really bad. This was excellent. It's an opportunity for TNA to do something. It's a real opportunity for them to make some moves. And a lot of these people are not going to be very expensive or folks that you're in a bidding war with Tony Khan for. So it could work out fine. So it ought to be interesting. Rick Boogs could be a decent TNA World Champion if he can talk. I agree. And he would be a great character to have on their show. Rick Boogs on there with like Johnny Swinger or something like that could restore the feeling. TNA need to get to restoring the feeling. I was going to make fun of that tonight. Is what I was going to do. Is make fun of everybody keep saying that AEW is trying to restore the feeling. Restore that feeling. You can't restore it. It's over. What we had is gone. What we had is gone. They went to DPW. What's DPW? I don't know. I'm not familiar with DPW. The AEW fanboy can't name one special thing that tiny woman has done. She has great matches. They want me die, Tony. Why they want me die? RIHO looks like my little sister Girl Scout Plus selling cookies. That ain't what being a single would do. No, that's gangsta. Why did Triple H hate Rick Boogs? Because he's muscular and charismatic, I would imagine. Triple H doesn't seem to be fond of those kinds of guys anymore. See how he treating LA Knight. Well, there's not much you can do with LA Knight, really. You're in a difficult situation, if we're being honest. Because Roman got the title on a stranglehold, and Logan Paul got the other belt in a stranglehold. That's probably why you should have did a King of the Ring tournament. I can't believe I just said that. Mister is too many tournaments, but you probably need to do something to give a guy a push on this goddamn show. You got to have something going on. So I'm not sure he need like a King of the Ring or a Queen of the Ring or something. Funny thing is, I loved what Bully Ray was doing as a heel this year, but he really recently rejoined WWE. What the hell are you talking about? Bully Ray, what the hell are you doing with WWE? I'm done with all of those guys. It's becoming one of my pet peeves that if you were wrestling in the 90s and you're still wrestling, I'm starting to really get aggy about it. Like I'm really kind of the Tommy Dreamers, the Bully Rays, like I'm ready for these guys to go away, man. Jericho is right on the cusp. He's right there on that. I'm kind of tired of him, but I'm trying to give him a pass because I love Chris Jericho. But Tommy Dreamer, if I never saw Tommy Dreamer again, that would be too soon. And the same thing for Bully Ray. I never need to see these guys wrestle again. Oh, Bubba Ray signed a Legends deal. Oh, I say, Jesus Christ. Well, that makes sense. Bray Wyatt having a Legends deal makes sense too. I already knew they was going to do that. They're about to sell a bunch of merchandise for him and give the money to his kids, which is the right thing to do, which is how Legends contract should work, especially if the guy is dead. You should absolutely give the proceeds or the lion's share of it to his family. That's absolutely how it works. Yeah, he's not coming back on screen. You're not going to let him use his Bully Ray persona anyway. I think that was one of the issues that he had before. Is he wanted to be Bully Ray in WWE, and it was like, no way. We got this Be a Star thing. He can't be a bully on our show. But he's a heel. You're like, no. It's a PG product. We can't promote bullying. We just, hit people in the face with pies. We just hit people in the face with pies. and occasionally, cover them in crap. But we can't promote bullying at all. Not at all, fam. Um, LA is older than Roman. If people wanted to be his era, technically he'll retire before. I don't think so. I think that Roman's probably at the end of his rope. I think within the next 2 or 3 years, Roman is done. I think that we're probably seeing the last days of Roman Reigns. Like, he got 5 kids or something like that. Like, bro is not going to do this shit forever. There's no more for him to do. I think he's done. He might try to hang around to see if The Rock actually does want to work that match. But after WrestleMania 40, we're probably not going to see Roman much at all. I don't even expect a rematch out of this whole Roman and Cody thing. I think they're probably going to get. It might do the third match just to have it, but I don't expect to see Roman a lot at all once he dropped the belt. I expect that's going to be it for him. Nah, I don't think LA Knight. I think if LA Knight, if he gets to a point where he's super successful, main event and stuff like that, world championships, he'll push himself to keep going. Because I think he said before that he's 40 some odd years old, but he's not beat up. He's not a bad 40. So if, whatever reason he gets injured or something like that, maybe. But I think he's at a position that he's always been waiting to get to. He's going to hold on. He's going to hold on a long time, too. So I think we probably get a good 3 or 4 years out of him before he moves to the side. That's, of course, assuming that he can last through another 3 or 4 years. The problem right now is Triple H is booking these title runs to be super goddamn long and not giving you anything else in between. Like how he screwed over the Money in the Bank situation. He's not passing around the tag team titles enough. The mid-card belts are not, spread out enough. Even the personal feuds are not really spread out enough. So you have tons of guys on the roster just doing nothing. Just doing nothing. Winning matches for no reason. So, but I think that Randy Orton said he wants to go another 5 years or 10 years or something like that. He's not going to make it. But LA Knight, granted, he doesn't tear his body up over the next couple of years, he ought to be fine. He ought to be fine. Like, unless he does something crazy and breaks his neck or severely damages a knee or something like that, he ought to be fine. He's been wrestling for a long time, but he hasn't been on the grind. Like he hasn't been to that WWE grind. And that thing is coming. Well, he might get spared it because they might start cutting all these house shows. But he hasn't been on the grind. He was on the TNA grind, which is not good. But at least it's not as bad. And it's not nearly as bad. Yeah, I don't think Randy gonna make it 10. Even part time, I don't think he's gonna make it 10. Like why would he want to do 10 more? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I don't know. Like what is he trying to prove? And I'm trying to figure out like what is he trying to prove? But I don't think he's gonna make it 10. I don't think he's gonna make it 5. I think he's probably gonna make it another 2 or 3, and it's gonna be over for him. I think him and Cena are on the last days. The Pistons blow, man. They suck so bad. I don't know what to do. The Pistons are so bad. They started asking for the commissioner to step in and do something, like force them to sell the team or something. I can't stand the Pistons. I fucking hate the Pistons, bro. I really do, man. I don't know what to do. I ain't watched a Pistons game in 20 years almost. But I heard that their record is just so damn bad that there's people out there asking for folks to step in and take over the team. They want the league to take over the team or whatever. They think that they're taking it now. But they ain't taking it, they just suck. They're just not good. Yeah, the Pistons ain't been good in 15 years, 16 years. They just ain't been good. I mean, that's just a thing with Detroit sports teams. We just have those. You got passionate market but the owners don't give a fuck. The Illiches don't care. The Fords don't give a fuck. They don't care at all about these teams. It just comes because at this point, the teams pretty much run themselves. You don't really have to try too hard to sell tickets. Now that the Lions have started winning, one of the things here is that the season ticket prices are about to skyrocket, especially for next year. And it's been front page news how season ticket holders are furious that as soon as the Lions have a winning season, the ticket prices skyrocket. I think it doubled. Maybe somebody needs to remind. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it's true that the season tickets doubled, the cost doubled for next year for the Lions, but they're finally having a winning season. But most of the owners of these teams in Detroit don't give a shit at all about any of this crap. You know, as long as the people just show up and and pay, they don't give a damn, dog. Because we used to have a winning hockey team. I don't even think we got a winning hockey team no more. The Tigers. I don't watch baseball, so I don't know. But the Pistons are notoriously bad, and the Lions are notoriously bad. Now the Lions are actually pretty good. They still losing games they should probably win, but they having a good season, and now they pissed everybody off because the ticket prices are about to go up. That's because they're a playoff team this year, so they certainly about to try to make that cash next year, and people about to be pissed. And I think the NFL might actually trying to push the Lions now. They're trying to push them into more markets, so you never know. It might actually let the Lions win some games, get to a divisional championship or something. We'll see. But the Pistons are bad. I really do think it should be a rule that if you have like 15 losing seasons, that the ownership of the league should step in and say, for parity's sake, you have to do something. You know, you certainly have to do something. I mean, it's clearly not the coaches at that point. If you've got like 15, 16 straight losing seasons, it ain't the coaches at that point. It's the ownership. You know, it's management. And but I guess as long as it doesn't affect the bottom line, like it doesn't affect ticket sales or television, I would imagine it affects television. Why would you watch the Pistons? Like, why would you do that? I don't. Like I clearly I said, I don't watch the Pistons in 20 years. But I would imagine nobody else watches them either. The Lions are currently the second lowest ticket price, and they're about to go up 30%. Is that what you're telling me, Darren Gordon-Hill? 30% is a lot, but it ain't as much as I heard. So I heard it was going to be like a 50% increase. So that's not good. But 30% is still a lot, especially considering we don't know where they ended up this year. You know, if they end up in the NFC Championship game, then okay. But if they end up getting bounced in the first round or something like that, you're gonna be hot. If they end up with with some rings or something like that, that would be very nice. I wouldn't be mad to pay 30% more if it's a world championship team, or if it's even an NFC championship team. But if it's they finally won 12 games or something like that, and then they got bounced in the first round, I'll probably be pissed, and I have to. That's ridiculous. Some seats as much as 85%. Oof. Holy shit. That's more of what I heard. I heard that. Because when it first happened, it was on the news. So I didn't think anything of it. I didn't care. And then I was at the job, and I started hearing folks complain about it. Like, man, you see these fucking Lions tickets? And I started hearing, man, the fucking seats doubled. I was like, what? What? Yeah, I saw it on the newspaper. I was like, oh my God. They're about to fleece y'all, nah. They say the Lions is winning. He about to dig in them pockets. Man, you could at least put together a couple of winning seasons before you did that. They was like, no. But it's that inflation shit. They about to They're going to feel the pain, though. They're going to feel the pain because Detroit is not a rich city, so only certain people going to be able to get them goddamn season tickets. And it's probably the people who already got them, if we're being honest. It's suburban white folks. They already got them. That's probably why it was on the front page news anyway. They love their Lions, for Christ's sake. They don't give a fuck about them Pistons, but they, they love the Lions and the Tigers, boy. And middle of the day on a Wednesday. My goodness. I didn't know my bosses loved the Tigers so much. And then out of nowhere, there's like everybody's wearing Tigers hats. And I don't think, are they good? I don't, how do we, what does a good Tigers team look like? There's like 400 baseball games. I don't know how many games there's even in the league anymore. But the money difference between 30th and 31st could be huge. That's true. That was true. Why Triple H never brought back the policy of 30-day championship reigns like when Shawn Michaels was? I see champion, they stripped him because he barely defends the belt. Yeah, they got rid of that. They got rid of that a long time ago. That's why Brock, when they introduced the part-timer as world champion, that whole 30-day thing went out the window. You know, it went out the window. Do you think the new Pistons arena helped or hurt? I think it definitely hurt because, you know, they got a new arena and got all that stuff without actually winning anything. So people are just kind of like, if you like sports, you will watch the Lions and the Tigers and all these teams, and we want them all in Detroit. They didn't make them earn anything. They just gave them stuff. You know, we wanted the team in the city, so we built an arena, and then they built like a fucking shrine to the Pistons on near Wayne State. There's it's like a museum or whatever. It's like a training facility over there, but it's also it's like a museum on the inside. You know, where they got the championship cups and they got plaques for like Pistons greats from the past, and you can go in there and look at it and read that stuff. And I went in there when it was almost naked. They was still building it when I was in there because we was doing community service in that area, and they basically rewarded us by letting us walk through the training facility. It's a nice place, but they hadn't earned it. They just gave it to them, and it's crazy. Vegas just got the A's. We got to pay for $1 billion stadium to never go to the playoffs. Oof. See, Vegas getting teams now. That's wild, right? Like, you'd have thought that Las Vegas would have always had a team. With the casinos and everything, they would have always had teams. But now they're starting to put teams in Las Vegas. See, they probably should have been there anyway and not have so many teams in California, but South California is such a huge state. I'm glad Las Vegas finally getting sports, but I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with sports betting and becoming a more of a thing in online and with DraftKings and FanDuel and all that crap. So I'm pretty sure that's why they putting all these teams in Las Vegas now. But they probably should have had teams. They should have had teams in the '90s. Like I was shocked that Las Vegas didn't have a football team. But California's got like 6 of them. Like, what the fuck? California has like 5 basketball teams. like why? Like, I never understood like why New York has like 4 or 5 basketball teams, baseball teams, whatever. And then you got 2 baseball teams. I think you got like 4 basketball teams, 5 maybe. Like, I know it's a big market, but you mean to tell me people from Brooklyn are not fans of the Knicks? But I guess it's New York, and then there's upstate. That's why you have like the Buffalo Bills. They represented upstate. So, but I was like, I don't know why you need to have 3 football teams. I didn't get that. But whatever. I didn't pick these decisions. I ain't making these decisions. Yeah, a lot of these stadiums are just super expensive, and they all look the same. I mean, you can't really. They don't have individual character no more. You are absolutely right about that. I do miss when stadiums used to look the same. They used to look different. That's what I used to like about Madison Square Garden, because you always knew it was a different arena, you know. When WWE goes to an arena, though, they make them all look the same. I don't like that either. Maybe in 2024 we could change that. You know, and I know that they do that because they want the show to have some continuity to it. And if you watched Raw last week and it needs to look the same as Raw this week, but maybe sometimes it don't. Maybe sometimes it could look different. You know, you're a different arena. You could different stuff in these buildings. Yeah, St. Louis should probably have a football team too. You know, I think they got still like the Rams and stuff. Like St. Louis is a huge city. They should have a football team. They should have sports. You know, I just don't see like. I always was like concerned, like only because as a kid, you know, you were basically taught if it doesn't have a sports team, specifically a football team, it doesn't matter. You know, it's pretty much that simple. So it's like, does Wyoming have a football team? No. So you don't have to pay attention to Wyoming. You know, like does South Dakota have a football team? No. You don't gotta pay attention to South Dakota. But then it's like, man, it's not entirely true. You know, college teams are pretty good. Like it took me a long time to realize that, you know, Nebraska college football is monstrous. It's more college football in Nebraska is more popular and more important than a lot of NFL teams in a lot of other markets. And it's because it's all they got. So, but then you're like, why not put a fucking football team in Nebraska there? You know, like, but it's a small market. You know, but I don't know. But we certainly are losing a lot by making sure California gets so many teams and New York gets so many teams and Florida is now starting getting a lot of teams and stuff too. It's like, I love watching football highlights from the past more than watching like current games. You know. Yep. Not only that, but cities are starting to bid for them. So it's not even you know the owner is being cheap. It's just like moving an Amazon headquarters or something like that. You don't want to pay for the stadium, I take the team away. It's like, oh shit. And so people cough up the $700 billion. Like they was talking about this deal. I remember I was sitting in class when we learned about this, man. It made people so hot. They were learning about stadiums. They call it mega projects. So these mega projects are like $500 million or whatever. When they was teaching us about Joe Louis Arena, I don't know if it was about Joe Louis or it was about the new one that they're building, Little Caesars. But they were talking about the city was paying for it, but they weren't going to get any of the money that comes from the various concessions that are going to be inside of it. And I'm pretty sure it was similar with Joe Louis Arena, where the city did not get a profit sharing from the various concessions that's going to be inside the facility. They get like a tax or whatever, but they weren't going to get like profit sharing. And so it automatically makes the arena a money loser because you're making the city is going to try to tax the tickets. That's where they're going to try to get their money from, right? So they're probably going to say, we're not going to tax the peanuts. We're not going to get any of that, or the pizza places, or the bar, any of the merchandise. We're not going to get a piece of none of that. We're going to tax the seats. So now the seats are expensive as shit in the building that we already paid for, even against our own will, because there wasn't a vote. Usually there was no vote. Sometimes there's a vote, but most of the time there's no vote. And they just tax your seats, and then they don't get anything out of it. And so every stadium is literally a money loser. So that's ridiculous. What are we talking about here? America is a continent. Well, there's two continents. NBA is essentially European Champions Leagues. Well, it's a National Basketball Association. That's literally what it's called. They just call themselves world champions because that's where all the best. They feel like all the best players from around the world are in that league, and no team from another league could beat them, which would be interesting. You could play it like a mega game, like whoever the champions are in China or whatever, play the NBA champions and see what happens. I think it'll be pretty much a dead giveaway of what's going to happen. Everybody get their shit kicked in. But then again, who knows? They may lose. But that's just, the good old USA. We're the only ones who play the game and we're world champions at it. So, we created the boxing world championships. And even though boxing started in England. So, we're the world champions at everything, goddammit. We started it. Even though we were using English boxing rules, we created the world championship. And called the first son bitch who knocked somebody out a world champion. Which ended up working out pretty good for us, I think. I was just, matter of fact, I was watching it's a YouTube documentary on boxing. It was about the corruption in boxing. Let me look this up because I want y'all to watch it. Maybe for some homework. Might want to talk about this a little bit. Or there won't be a Sunday stream. Probably not. It's Christmas Eve. I might actually get some sleep that night. I'll say that as if it's actually going to happen. I'm trying to figure out what's it called. I'm always finding stuff and then watching it and then trying to tell people about it and then I don't remember what it's called or anything like that. Shit. But it was is it the FBI sting on pro boxing in and out of the ring? Yeah, it was a fantastic documentary. Well, boxers can be from anywhere. Basketball players can too. Special J says Vegas is the only big city in Nevada, so most decisions come from top rural areas of the state. The F1 thing here was ass, and we got it for 10 years. We got nothing from that event. Good luck. We have a race every year too. And I don't think we get anything out of that shit. I don't think we get anything out of these casinos. I don't think we get anything out of these arenas. They just build shit, man. And then the big shots, they probably get kickbacks. And they get money in the campaign and all that, and then that's it. They call it a day. Everybody else just paying hundreds of millions of dollars for these fucking stadiums. My thing is, if you have to pay over a certain amount, we should get equity in the team. Not even the stadium. We should get equity in the fucking team, so you can't even move the team. Fuck the stadium. If we pay for the stadium, you shouldn't even be able to move the team. Unless the stadium become dilapidated. Like the Green Bay Packers don't have to worry about that because the city owns the team. And I'm not even sure that's a great idea. But it's better than you paying for a stadium and you don't get anything out of it. I can tell you that much. It's better than everybody else owning the goddamn team. Have they ever explained the difference between world champion and universal champion? Yes, the world is one planet. The universe is multiple planets. So when you're the universal champion, you're the champion on any planet, anywhere in your universe. When you're the world champion, you're only the champion of that world. Casinos pay lodging taxes. They had to let the weed banks just recoup. Nah, I don't know. Here, I don't know what they did with the casino taxes here. They're trying to raise them, but casinos are everywhere now. You know, it's one of those things where you can't really make a lot of money on casinos anymore. Especially in Detroit, it doesn't make sense because Winnipeg also has not Winnipeg, Windsor. Windsor also has casinos. So if they tax them too heavy in Detroit, people will just go to Windsor and go to the casino. So it's not going to make them. The hotels probably make a lot of money, but I don't know about the casinos themselves. There's a bunch of old people in there. I walked through the casino, man. I got lost. It's like literally an adult arcade, and I had never spent so much time in the casino in my life, bro. I didn't get it. I didn't get the intrigue of it. It was just a bunch of grandmas in that joint pulling them levers, not knowing whether they won or lost, but not getting any money out that machine. So unless you like know how to play cards or something like that, like there ain't no point going to the casino, bro. That shit look crazy to me. And there's so many restricted areas for you to go into too. Like you have to have money to go there. Intergalactic wrestlers, absolutely. You know, you're the greatest wrestler on Jupiter. Imagine aliens come to Earth, challenge Roman. You're the universal champion, are you? You're the champion of this universe, that is. Which universe? You're not champion of my universe. I don't know. Didn't somebody create like a global championship? Who did that? Somebody recently is trying to create a global championship. Is it AEW that's trying to AEW global champion or something like that? Or is it somebody else I'm thinking of? Because there's only so many synonyms you can use for the same thing. World, global, you know, it's New Japan. Okay, yes, I knew somebody was coming up with a global championship. Why do they need more titles, man? There's only so many ways you can say the same goddamn thing. You know, like, there's only so many ways you can do that. I'm like, ooh, a global championship. And you know what's so ridiculous is they tried to go with the continent-based title, you know, with I think they called it the UK belt, which was called the US belt at first, and now they're trying to turn it into the global championship. And I'm like, man, just stop, just cut it out, let's call it a day, man. We're off the rails on this, all right? Just stop. There's no point to this. Yes, I'm sorry, championship, because belts keep your pants up. Championships are to be won and lost on fields of battle by sweat and blood. But oh yeah, the reason I was telling y'all about the boxing documentary is because I finally figured out why there were so many world championships in boxing, and I never knew. I never knew why there were so many championships in boxing, and then I found out why. And then I wish I hadn't known. And it didn't really help because I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, ESPN used to do these the boxing shows, and they would do Q&A during the show, so you could talk to like it wasn't Burt Sugar, was it Max Kellerman? I think it was Max Kellerman. Like during the show, you could ask him questions, and I remember asking him, like, you know, I was probably a young guy at the time, and I was hearing WBA, WBC, IBF. I was like, I text him, which one of these belts mean the most? Like, which one of these things are the most meaningful? And I remember he responded like, all of them are trash. And I was just like, wow, okay. And now I know why he said that, because they are all trash. You know, it's a garbage system. And this is what they're trying to do to pro wrestling, by the way. They're trying to turn pro wrestling into, or they're trying to do it to MMA first, you know, by getting rid of well, they're trying to do that to the UFC, to be specific. They're trying to Ali act the UFC. That's not why we have so many crazy boxing governing bodies, but that's what they're trying to do to UFC is decentralize it to the point where nothing matters. None of the championships matter. Only the boxer matters or the fighter matters. And then the fighter can handpick his own opponents, and there's no legitimate ranking system. There's no legitimate way for people to follow the sport. Like, I don't think you have to be a super hardcore boxing fan to be able to follow boxing, if we're being honest. Because there's so many championships, there's so many different listings and rankings, and all of it seems to be arbitrary. So, and it's hard to see somebody separate from the pack, So, in MMA, or specifically in UFC, is different. UFC is centralized. They control their own rankings, and it's by wins and losses, and those wins and losses are visible by people. And there's some tomato cans and stuff like that that they utilize. I'm not going to say that they don't, but it's a more fair system than boxing, and they try to do that shit to MMA, destroy UFC, and everybody's an independent contractor who works for some sleazy promoter. And they talk about how sleazy boxing is, and then they think, oh, boxing is great because Floyd Mayweather made $100 million on one fight. Wouldn't it be great if, MMA fighter X can make $100 million on a fight? It's like, yeah, but it's not going to happen. They don't have the same gates as boxing. And the lower card guys get fucked. So, no, it wouldn't make sense, but it's politically motivated because they don't like Dana White. And they don't like the UFC, so that's what it's about. All right, about to ready to wrap this thing up. CMLL in Mexico has the most championships, I believe, close to. I don't. It might be true. That might be true. That might be true. They've also been around forever too, and Mexico is another place where belts don't matter. So it doesn't seem like shit matters in Mexico except the mask and your hair. Like, that seems to be it. Of course, they have them because they use them. They exist for storyline purposes, but they don't seem to give a shit about any of those belts. And people win them, they lose them. They go on American TV and become a jobber with them, like Commander. You would think if you cared about that belt, you wouldn't let Commander go on American television and get beat by Roderick Strong. Maybe you wouldn't let that happen. Maybe you would step in and say, maybe that's not a good idea, Tony. For you to have cruiserweight champion get beat by, your comedy mid-carder. Maybe that's not smart business, Tony. But what can you do? Mexicans don't seem to care. Conan doesn't seem to give a fuck. The wrestler certainly doesn't care. So the belt doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. Well, it's also modern day. I was just reading about Stan Hansen and how he was refusing to do jobs in certain places because he didn't want to. He didn't want to look weak in Japan, and he knew that people were going to be there taking pictures and shit. And it's like, man, that was crazy. That was the 80s. And he was trying to keep his character alive in kayfabe. And I kind of wish people started doing that again. Like, this is, I think that matters. That seems to matter a lot. AJ3 says, what were you about to say about why people ask you, do you still celebrate Christmas? Oh, well, I'm saying, like, we have a culture that is turning against Christmas. And it's something that I've never experienced until recently. Like, you hear the whole conspiracy theory pretty much every year that there's a war on Christmas. And people are, attacking Christmas. I'm actually hearing people say that they stopped celebrating Christmas. And I'm not getting a good reason why, except for there's a cultural shift moving away from Christmas. And there was another thing here where you always tell women run your office when there's construction paper all over the place. So they were doing themed what was this, decorations, holiday, quote unquote holiday decorations, but they wanted them to be winter themed, non-denominational. That's what they said. Non-denominational, winter themed. What does that mean? You just want snowflakes and snowmen, right? So no baby Jesus in the manger, no 12 wise men. It's all just Jack Frost every fucking day, right? Like what season do you think it is? Like when did we just get generic winter season? Why are we just celebrating winter? That's not what this season is all about. But they don't say that shit about Hanukkah. They sure got their construction paper and cut out their little candles for Hanukkah. I know why they did that. I'm not an idiot, Keemon Beard. I'm just saying, as I was continuing on my point, they put up the stuff for Hanukkah. The little star, the candles, whole 9 yards. But they wanted non-denominational stuff. Okay. Then why do we have this thing? Like, why is this thing here? And I was just kind of like, well, I'm not really a Christian, but I'm looking at it saying to myself, the war on Christmas seems kind of real. Yeah, Christmas is very pagan anyway, but just the lack of Christmas trees, even something as simple as they don't want you to have Christmas trees. We can have candles, but not Christmas trees. Like, I get it. You don't want to have crosses all over the place. You don't want, people, putting Bible verses all over the place. But we're being very, very, very selective in what we're going to let slide. And then also, some of this stuff, like, Kwanzaa, it's not winter related anyway. Kwanzaa, if it meant anything, would be in the spring. It wouldn't be in the fucking winter. It means first harvest. Who harvesting shit in mid-fucking December? Nobody's harvesting a fucking thing in December. Alright? It's cold. You're not growing shit. In Detroit anyway. In December. It's cold. It's not going to work, bro. That's just potatoes. Or something that can grow in cold weather. So, I'm just very suspicious about the full-grown adults that don't celebrate Christmas. And the amount of happy holidays. So there's people who are going out of their way. Uber driver, for instance, didn't give me bullshit happy holidays, which everybody says it. Everybody says it. Happy holiday, happy holiday. Nobody says Merry Christmas anymore. Uber driver was like, looked me dead in the face. Merry Christmas. Like, Merry Christmas. Like what the hell? He said like the CIA was listening. It felt like it was what was that? Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. Like, she might get caught reading. Yeah, Merry Christmas. And when I was talking to people doing my little conferences, I was saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. Because Christmas is in like 4 days. Like, I'll say Happy Holidays after Christmas. You could have any holiday you want after that. I don't care. And maybe I'm just being stubborn. And I'm not changing with the times, man. But I'm saying, look, why we can't just celebrate snow. We just gonna put snowflakes everywhere and snowmen. It's like, that's not worth celebrating. What? Why are we celebrating the fucking cold? We're not celebrating the cold. There was a reason for this. There was a reason for the season. If you're not going to celebrate Christmas, then at least celebrate whatever other holiday you're going to celebrate. You can't just celebrate winter. You're going to have winter themed blank. You know, that's the fuck wants a snowman, bro. Like you you go into the store and get like gingerbread shaped snowflakes. Like that's whack, cuz. Get them Christmas trees, man. We already know what it is. You don't gotta be super Christian. I'm not asking nobody saying go get baptized. But it's the Christmas season, bro. We know this is not some new shit that we create. But we're certainly getting towards basically no Christmas. And it's going to be, or Christmas only for people who choose to hold on to it. We're going to secularize everything. Again, Christmas has gotten pretty pagan with the trees and everything, and people forgetting what Christmas is even all about. And the fact that, Jesus was probably not born in the fucking freezing cold. So, I get it. At the same time, though, it's odd that we're squeezing it out, and people are just proudly like, I don't celebrate Christmas. But you celebrate snowmen? Like, what? Like, I don't. Where'd you get what? Okay, so you're buying gifts for people. You put them under a tree. You're wrapping them in paper, but you celebrate nothing. We're celebrating snowflakes and like make that make sense. We're not celebrating anything in particular, but we're gonna have a tree and we're gonna have presents, but we're not going to celebrate anything in particular. Come on, man. Well, everybody does it. We just picked a random season. Hey, it's cold outside. Let's go buy my kid a PS5 for no fucking reason. Just because it's cold outside. No, there was a reason for all this. Why people can't just mention the reason? So it's dumb to me. But I noticed that there was it's a cultural thing. The more we become secular, the further away we move from things having real meaning to it. And there was a spiritual meaning to Christmas, not just you give people gifts or the iconography of Santa Claus and Jesus and the cross and all this kind of stuff. It was something spiritual that was connected to that. Now it was just generic, like Darren Gordon-Hill says, generic cold season. Happy winter. Like we don't celebrate we don't even celebrate the summer or the spring or anything like that. It's goofy, man. Just the human resources stuff right there. I can't stand it. Ugh, I hate those assholes, man. Can't offend anybody. Like, why does anybody be offended by Christmas? Not everybody's a Christian. Guess what? You could say, you can actually go through the round robin. You don't have to be a nobody gets anything kind of thing. You can say, what is it, Eid Mubarak, which is the Arab thing, or is that in the spring? I don't know. But you could do that. You could do your Hanukkah for all of your, people who insist that Kwanzaa is a real holiday. You could do stuff for them. And you could do, because all of that is different times. Like December 25th is Christmas. It is what it is. The day after Christmas is Hanukkah. I mean, is it Hanukkah? Hanukkah starts after Christmas, and I think Kwanzaa starts after Christmas. You can do that at that point in time. Everybody can get their own thing. Rather than, hey, we're going to just make generic winter season. And we're going to sit down and cut snowflakes of construction paper. I'm not doing that. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. All right, man. Thank y'all for your time. I'll talk to you guys later. Everything is about to die. My phone about to die. This tablet about to die. My mic about to die. Everything about to die. I didn't charge anything before I started doing this. All right. Thank you guys for your time. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.